2020 Shirley tells the story of a young couple temporarily staying with famous horror author Shirley Jackson and her husband Stanley after one of them gets a job as a lecturer in the same department Stanley teaches at the local university. At first, the young wife, Rose, is meant to be a student at said university, but since they're staying with the couple rent-free, she feels obligated to say yes when Stanley asks her to maybe help a little bit around the house and try to keep an eye on the alcoholic, agoraphobic, and kind of abusive Shirley, unaware she's basically just agreed to become the live-in maid. Not to mention, living with a couple that's a lot less Leave It to Beaver and a lot more Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf starts to eat away at the young couple's own marriage, especially after Rose announces that she's pregnant. All the while, Rose becomes closer and closer and really, really close to Shirley, starting to trust her more than she trusts anyone else, and starting to also become a little paranoid as she starts digging into the true crime case that Shirley's basing her first novel off of, a novel she's struggling to get through under the watchful eyes of her judgmental and demanding husband. Shirley Jackson was an amazing author. I first discovered her in high school with her short story The Lottery, but she's most famous for her book The Haunting of Hill House, which obviously inspired the Netflix show of the same name. All that being said, this is not exactly a biography. It's basically based on a book that's pretty much a Shirley Jackson fanfic, but I still think it's totally worth watching. It comments on the struggles of women at the time, ones that feel invisible, especially ones struggling with mental illness, which is usually just dismissed or solved with lobotomies or something like that. So